Okay, this is my fifth time retrying this. Hello YouTube, what is up guys? I'm finally back. It is the Fossil Lounge here with another video. Now, you guys read the title. Today I'm going to be ranking each original Jurassic Park dinosaur based off of how paleo-accurate they are compared to their counterparts in the movie. Or rather in real life. Sorry. So I've retaken this video probably 5 times. It's pretty annoying. At first, it was just me trying to get used to not having a script because all of my videos in the past have been scripted, and this one it obviously is not. And then the last 2 times, I had a pretty good setup, and then of course my tech bugged out and the audio was not tracked. So yeah, that's pretty amazing. But honestly, guys, I enjoy making these videos. I just haven't been too focused on content lately, and I apologize for that. I apologize for my hiatus, and I will be back with more videos. Now, I know I said that like 1,000 times in my posts on the community and also my other videos, but regardless, I'm back, and that's all that counts, and I will be making more content because I have a lot of fresh ideas, and I feel like I have a spur of creativity. So, with that being said, guys, ignore the ads. I know you want to break. I know you want to break from the ads, but yeah, guys. So I was just thinking about making a video. My friend was like, "Hey, I think you should make another video on your channel." So I was like, "Okay," and I decided to do that. So, like I said, guys, you read the title. Today, I'm going to be ranking the Jurassic Park original dinos based off of how paleo accurate they are to their real life counterparts. And yeah, I'm just going to be ranking them from S to F. As a matter of fact, hold on here. And I'm going to be naming this one fiction. So basically, this is going to be the tier where it's like, which one will be in fiction, guys? It will definitely be in fiction, one of these. And I think you guys probably know which one that's going to be. So, yeah. And I'm going to be naming S tier. Let's go with canon event. Oops, I turned on caps lock. All right, guys. So, with that being said, let's get right into it. Now, before I start, I just want to throw some discrepancies out there. So, I'm not going to be going over every single fact and all that and fallacy of each dinosaur. That's not what I'm here to do, guys. I'm not a paleontologist. I don't want to throw 10 facts for each dinosaur out there because we'd be sitting here for maybe an hour. And I don't want to come back with a video like that because I know, for one, it's not going to get much traction. And two, I wanted to actually save more of the sequels for the series for later because I wanted to make more videos on this. And I felt like this was an original idea. So, yeah. And if I do say something that you feel like is like nitpicking or whatever, then I do apologize. But this is just for entertainment, guys. It's not like I really believe like, oh, Jurassic Park dinosaurs have to be fully accurate because I think that would take away from the specialty of the series. And I know that there's a lot of elements in the plot that require these dinosaurs to be unrealistic in some forms. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. Okay, now I'm going to start with the Brachiosaurus. It was the first dinosaur shown in the series, um, at least on screen in the actual plot. So yeah. Now the Brachiosaurus, I'm going to put it in B tier. I think it's a fairly accurate dinosaur in terms of its physiology. Now I do have one problem, or actually two problems. So I will be referring to my notes, guys. So if you see me pause or hear me pause for a bit or not say anything, that's why, because I'm looking at my notes because I wanted to have some form of like details to refer to, so I'm not just sitting here going off of memory. Most of this is in my memory, but regardless, I just wanted to make sure that I actually had something to go off of. So the Brachiosaurus, like I said, fairly accurate when it comes to its physical being, if that's what you want to call it. Now, the reason I didn't put it higher is because in the beginning we see that the Brachiosaurus is walking around or whatever, trying to eat from the trees, and something that's very unrealistic is that its front legs were way longer than its back legs. And we can even see that in the film, which is accurate, right? But the issue is when it stands up on its back legs, its body is upward naturally, so its massive weight would have made rearing up with basically like a death sentence, right? So that's not realistic. It would have died doing that. It would have been crushed, or at least fell. I don't know if it would have died, but it definitely would not have been able to handle that. So yeah, that's the problem that comes with being so big and being built like that. Another issue is that it's shown chewing, which is actually relatively unrealistic for a lot of sauropods this size. There's a lot of evidence showing that sauropods in general wouldn't have really chewed side to side or really chewed much at all since they had peg toothed, sort of like teeth, I guess, if that makes sense. They would have likely swallowed stones to grind up the vegetation in their stomachs. And I don't expect them to do that. I feel like that's a really sort of like niche, nitpicking ass like detail. I don't really think that it's necessary to point that out like in most contexts. But since I'm just doing this for realism and all of that, just for entertainment, I'm gonna be going over stuff like that. But yeah, that's why I placed the Brachiosaurus in B tier. I simply feel like it is fairly accurate. I don't think there's much wrong with it. It's just those little details that they show in the movie that are not really accurate. So yeah. So that should give you a fair consensus on how I'm going to be doing the rest of this video and the videos in the future. So yeah, let's go into the Triceratops now, or get into it. Triceratops I'm going to put in A tier. I don't think there's much wrong with the Triceratops. I mean, it's kind of hard to mess up the Triceratops since it has a relatively easy build to create. The animatronic looks amazing. The only thing that I really don't like, and sorry if you guys hear my chair creaking and stuff in the background, I'm just kind of moving around and stuff, but I would say that the only issue is there's some evidence to show that it might have had like small quills on its back and, things of that nature. But honestly, besides that, I would say it's perfect. I don't even think the Triceratops would look good with those quills. It looks stupid, probably, or it would look stupid. So, I mean, it's an A tier. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. We don't really get to see much else of the Triceratops, like in terms of it standing up. Like, we don't really get to see a good angle of it because this is like the only time we see it in the series in general. So there's not much to go off of, honestly. So it's an A tier. In fact, I might even put it in canon event. I'm going to put it in canon event just because I feel like there's nothing really wrong with it. I just feel, I don't know. I'm going to put it in A tier just because I feel like if it was actually standing up and stuff and actually moving around and eating, I feel like we'd have an easier time, going over it. But overall, it's well. If it had more screen time and all of that, then I'd put it higher. But overall, very accurate. Next is Dilophosaurus. You guys know what I'm going to put this in, guys. I don't think we need to think about this too hard, okay? And I want you guys to guess for a moment. What tier do you think I'm going to put this in? Okay, now, you probably guessed correctly, and it's going in fiction. And you might be wondering,
Well, why is it going into fiction? It's one of the most realistic dinosaurs.
I know you guys didn't say that. I'm just trolling. But the reason Dilophosaurus is unrealistic is because, for one, let's be honest, guys, it wasn't shooting venom at people's faces. It's not realistic. Dinosaurs didn't have venom. So, yeah, I think you guys know that. I think everyone knows that. Well, maybe not everyone, but most people that like dinosaurs should know that. Now, the next issue with Dilophosaurus is it's very small. In fact, the real Dilophosaurus would have been around 20 feet long, which is absolutely ginormous compared to its Jurassic Park counterpart. Alongside that, it was only up to about Nedry's hip bone at best, and it was like 3 or 4 feet long. It was not a big creature at all, at least from what I remember. and I think that's correct. So yeah. On top of that, I forgot what the lizard's name is that can like spread its frill or whatever. I think it's just called the frill lizard, but if it's not, I'm gonna put an image of it after I edit the video and put a subtitle saying what it's actually called or an image, whatever. You know what I mean. But yeah, I don't think it's very accurate. I think you guys know this. It's basically the most fictional like creature besides like the D Rex and stuff like that in the whole franchise. Um, but yeah, so yeah, that's going in fiction, guys. Fiction is basically just not realistic at all. Its build is realistic, I think, in terms of like its physique and all of that, and its skull, I guess, and it does have a crest in real life. But besides that, it's absolutely unrealistic. Now, for the Velociraptor, it's going in D tier, and I'll tell you guys why. So the Velociraptor is not, and it's the same issue with the Dilophosaurus, except not nearly as bad. So the Velociraptor in the films is roughly like 2 meters tall. Okay, so it's about the same size as a 6 foot guy, right? Or just a man. So it's about 6 feet long too. I think 5, 6 feet, maybe 7 feet long. And in real life, a velociraptor is nowhere near that size. And I think this is one of those myths that everyone knows about already. I think if you're watching this video, you know that already. But I'm going to tell you anyways, because that's what the video is about. So, alongside that, I believe they based this velociraptor because they just call them raptors too. They don't even call them just velociraptors, they call them raptors as well. Um, the actual, I think, basis for what this was supposed to be based on was the Deinonychus, because the Deinonychus was more so around its size in the film or in real life compared to the film. And I think they also got the build from the Utah raptor, which is a much larger raptor and dromaeosaurid compared to the Velociraptor and the Deinonychus. But I think to make the creature more imposing, for one, they put it in a pack or made it a pack hunter, made it highly intelligent, which is also unrealistic because no dinosaur is that smart. And then on top of that, they boosted its size up because the real one is a turkey. And imagine the kitchen scene, but instead of these like human-sized raptors, they had turkey-sized raptors looking for the children. I don't think it would have been taken nearly as seriously, honestly. Imagine Rexy, I don't know, slamming its head into freaking turkey-sized creatures. I don't think that would have been very, very cool, honestly. So yeah, that's pretty unrealistic, guys. Another thing is, and I've never heard anyone comment on this, and when I was researching it, it's actually very interesting. But do you ever notice how the claws, and I'll put this on screen when I'm editing, I probably will at least, I don't know if I for sure will, but if I do, you'll see it. You know how they're, I guess, their wrists like face downward, right? And their fingers. So the reason that is in the films is because they were trying, Steven Spielberg was trying to make it so the raptors had almost like human like appendages, right? For example, when they turn the doors in the kitchen and all that and the handles, like they're trying to make it feel like it's a real like smart creature, like it knows what it's doing, you know what I mean? And that's horrifying, right? But obviously doesn't really need to be said, but in real life, of course, that's not accurate. In fact, most theropods, if not all, had like sideward facing wrists. So just wouldn't be accurate. They wouldn't be able to do that in the first place. And their little fingers or whatever you want to call them wouldn't be able to move that much. It wouldn't be like a human finger. So that's why I put it in D tier. The only reason I didn't put it in fiction is because, let's be honest, guys, the Dilophosaurus shooting venom is bullshit, and the frill is likely not accurate too. And on top of that, the Velociraptor, yeah, its intelligence is bullshit, but at least its physique looks realistic. It still looks like a raptor and all of that. And I feel like the pack hunting thing is probably accurate. So that's what's giving it D tier, but I feel like you could argue it could go into F tier or a fiction tier. But I don't think you guys will be too mad at me for that. Now, next we have the Parasaurolophus. It's not really shown too much in the first film. I could just fit this in with the rest of the Lost World and Jurassic Park 3, but honestly, that would be kind of underwhelming because it's like we're only talking about the first film here. So, what we do see of the Parasaurolophus, and I know you guys can't really see it that well, but it's shown like twice during the film, I believe, in the background. And I think they're shown running a little bit. And the Parasaurolophus in real life is highly likely to have walked on two legs and then ran on four legs, which is in general likely accurate thing for a hadrosaur to do. And then on top of that, guys, the Parasaurolophus's crest trombone is basically 100% proven to have made sounds since the bone was hollow, and scientists have actually 3D modeled the tubes and played air through them, proving that it acted like a prehistoric foghorn. So that's pretty cool, honestly, and I think that's one of the proven dinosaur sounds, for sure, at least. And this dinosaur is going to the Canada event. If you disagree, fight me. Okay, okay, okay. I'm joking a little too much right now, but hey, I think that's a good placement for him. It looks accurate. I think Parasaurolophus is one of those dinosaurs that it's hard to mess up. It's pretty hard to mess up. So yeah, going into canon event. Next is Gallimimus, aka my most hated dinosaur. I'm just kidding. I don't really hate it. I just don't care for it. But the one thing that I dislike and is also inaccurate about it is that it doesn't have feathers. Now, I know basically all the dinosaurs in the series that are theropods don't have feathers. And I know that's on purpose. I know the Pyroraptor, I think in Rebirth, I didn't watch Rebirth, I think it's garbage. But I know that basically every other dinosaur does not have feathers. And I know that's on purpose because I think it gives them more of like a slick reptilian like more cold looking design, in my opinion. That's why I think they did it. I don't know the reason why, but that's my guess. Makes them look more like cold blooded, I suppose. But yeah, that's one thing about the Gallimimus that should honestly be implemented is that they should have feathers, because they're literally ostrich dinosaurs. I mean, that's basically what they are. And a lot of pop culture, they are depicted incorrectly to be like sluggish lizards and all of that, but they're really a lot quicker and more agile. And basically, a lot of paleontologists, and I've watched videos on this, a lot of paleontologists agree that this is honestly the best and most paleo-accurate creature in the series, because them traveling in those little flocks and like running from the T-Rex, and I would say even their speed is fairly accurate, honestly. I would say that all of what they show the Gallimimus to be capable of, and the way it looks and all of that is fairly accurate. The only thing I don't like is that it doesn't have feathers. It looks kind of naked, honestly, but outside of that, I think it's a really, really good dinosaur. I'm gonna have to put that in canon event. Actually, no, I'll put it in high A tier. I'll put it in high A tier. I wouldn't say it's canon event like Parasaurolophus, but it is up there. Another thing I want to comment on is, before I go to the Rex, is that it is sort of depicted more as a herbivore in this, when in reality the Gallimimus was more of an omnivore. So it would have, of course, ate from plants, but it would have also eaten insects, lizards, and other small creatures of that nature. So yeah, I think that's a good placement for that. Now, lastly, we have Rexy, or just the T Rex, which, if you didn't know, the T Rex in Jurassic Park and world is called Rexy. So, my thing with Rexy is I don't want to get into like every single discrepancy and fact about, you know,
Actually, the tail of T Rex was actually it wasn't held up in the air. It was actually on the ground to give it balance.
I'm not going to do that, guys. I'm not going to. Because, for one, the video would be too long. I wanted to make a shorter video just for coming back and getting used to the swing of things again. And I think that's sort of like nitpicking again, like I said earlier. I don't want to do that to you guys. But I will say this. So, a lot of people already know this. In fact, it's probably equal in terms of like being well known to like the Dilophosaurus's frill coming out and shooting venom. The T Rex doesn't. It sees you guys. Like if you stand in front of the T Rex, it's gonna see you. It's not gonna just look at you. It's gonna see you. It's not gonna be like, "Where'd you go?" You know, it's not gonna be sitting there like a retard. Okay, I'm not gonna use that word again. I don't want to get demonetized, even though I don't even make any money from YouTube. But if I did, I would take that word back. But yeah, I don't think you guys care that much. But let's be honest, that's a pretty accurate word for how they depict the T Rex in the series. So it would see you, and this is because the T Rex had incredible front-facing stereoscopic vision. I read that wrong in my notes. So it would have been better than a hawk. You wouldn't be getting away. You wouldn't be able to stand still and it wouldn't pass you guys. It would absolutely kill you. Not only would it smell you, it would see you better than it could probably smell you too. And you're not getting away, guys. It's going to chop you up. Now, excuse me. One other big issue I have with Rexy, and I know they probably had different facts in science back then. I know that, especially with the T Rex, the scientific facts on the T Rex were much different back then. They were not like we have them now. A lot of has changed for this creature, and one big thing that's changed is its speed. Now, Rexy is depicted to be able to chase a Jeep, which is going 45 an hour, which is not possible. In fact, almost no dinosaurs can run that fast, even the Gallimimus. So, well, maybe the Gallimimus guys, I'm not too sure. But back to the Rex. That's not possible, and I will tell you why. So, bone stress models have shown that an adult Rex could not run that fast without shattering its legs. It is way too big, guys. This is the largest theropod on Earth. Okay. This thing is not going to run faster than 18 an hour. If it does, that's a mutant of a T Rex because, let's be honest, this thing is ginormous. Do you really think it could run that fast? Not only that, but when we look at how Rexes grow up and the evidence that's shown, baby Rexes would have hunted, or not babies, but I guess uh, child Rexes, if that's what you want to call them, juveniles, I guess, they would have hunted smaller prey and like ran after them because they were so small. But as they got older and larger, they had to actually be able to sneak up on their prey. And there's evidence shown or to show that Rexes would have snuck up on their prey like ambush predators, and they would have instantly killed them, instantly crushed their necks or their heads wherever they bit. And that's similar to how tigers and jaguars hunt today. Because let's be honest, they're not going to be able to chase medium-sized herbivores. The herbivores are going to get out of there. They're not going to be just sitting there like, oh, I want to stand off with you. Even Triceratops likely wouldn't have stood off with a T-Rex. It's very unlikely, actually. And not just that, but we also know that they were scavengers. So it just wouldn't make sense for them to waste their energy trying to chase something. It just wouldn't make sense. Of course, this is a horrifying dinosaur in the series, so they had to implement that somehow. But again, we're talking about realism, so if that makes you mad, I'm sorry. But this video is about entertainment and comparison and contrasting, not about what bothers you or what bothers me. Just facts. So I'm going to put the T-Rex into C tier. So overall, I think this is a solid tier list. I don't think anything's too wrong with it. I think you could move the Brachiosaurus around a little bit, maybe to C tier, maybe to, excuse me guys, I'm burping so much. To high or low A tier, I don't know, it depends on your take, but like you could probably move this to fiction, honestly. I don't think that would be wrong of you, and I think Maybe I was a little unfair to the Velociraptor, or a little too fair to it, because you could easily put it in fiction. I don't think anyone would really mind. I think C tier is a great spot for Rexy. I think the Brachiosaurus is in a good spot. I think Parasaurolophus is in a good spot. I think the rest are in a good spot. So, guys, that is the end of the video for today. I will be making a sequel to this. I don't know if that'll come out sooner than later, or if I'll start another video, but like I said, guys, I want to be able to make more content more often, frequently, and I love doing this, guys. I don't want you guys to think that I'm just going to leave for 10 more months. If you do still like my content, of course, or if you're a new viewer and you're watching this. So, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and please subscribe. Comment below. Tell me what you think about the tier list. Tell me if you hate it. Tell me if you like it. Tell me what could be better, what could be worse, or whatever facts you want to share. Because, paleontology is very interesting. And with that being said, thank you for watching. This is the Fossil Lounge, and I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.